I want to be a millionaire. I started this because I had my own spin to whatever I was putting out, and people resonate with that, and that's why I have the followers that I do because they mess with what I put out. It does get hard, like looking on social media and comparing yourself, and thinking like, okay, well, people may not like this and they like that, and it hurts. You can't compare yourself to other people, and you put your own spin to whatever you're producing. Going to these businesses and seeing that or hearing that like my video made such an impact to their business, as well as people just coming up to me and telling me how they love my content. Okay, so hi, my name is Nkemdilem. I am the founder behind Detroit Fine Steel 3, and I also have a medical background as a registered nurse. I started off as a content creator back during COVID. I was a travel nurse, so I was like traveling to like all these different cities, and kind of like I would record like all the fun things I was doing like out there that Michigan didn't have. So I was kind of like bragging, like showing about the cute restaurants or like the different events that they had. So that eventually turned into me coming back home after COVID was over, and then starting my content creating career. So I actually use my iPhone 14. So that's usually all I use. I just recently bought a new camera, but I just bring my friends along with me and kind of just document like my findings. That's what I call them. Like my findings going to like these restaurants or these fun events. So I look for places that are new. I look for places that I know people want to go to or look fun. So I try to be the first person to like go to these spots and just kind of document and make sure that I'm filming quality content, and then as well as like kind of just promoting whichever place I'm going to. But you want to be the first one. You want to be the first one who produces quality content for that place too. So I try to do both. And usually when I do it, like it goes viral. Growth from my page, seeing my follower count increasing, seeing my view count increasing, both going to these businesses and seeing that or hearing that like my video made such an impact to their business, as well as people just coming up to me and telling me how they love my content, saying that if it wasn't for your page, I wouldn't be able to know where to go to in the Detroit area. So I use Instagram, I use TikTok, and I'm also on Facebook. So I feel like it depends on the video. So like with each platform, you have a different population. With Facebook, you have the older population. I would say maybe like 30 and up. With TikTok, it's more of the younger crowd. So like 18 and up. Instagram is a bit of both. So initially, I saw most of my growth come from TikTok. Like I gained so many followers and so many views like within like the first couple months of me being an influencer. Then that transitioned into Instagram. So Instagram is where I see most of my growth right now, most of my views, most of my follows. So TikTok and Instagram right now. I do find that when you do edit on each one of these platforms, your view count does differ. So if you're just like taking one video from CapCut and just uploading it to all of these platforms, that doesn't really work. So you have to make some sort of like tweaks and edits for each of these platforms in order for them to see that you're actually using the app. And that's usually how I see my growth from that. As far as editing a video, I go in and I look at my camera roll, see which videos I actually do want to use. And then I go into my editing app and just edit the video. But I do go and spend time look at my analytics, see how my other videos have done, and then make those changes and then use that for my next couple videos. But it's a process. I'll definitely say that. Or actually editing like my video, I would say like about an hour or two to edit. As far as like looking at my analytics, I would say like anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour if I'm really studying it. And then just looking at my other videos, seeing how they've done, maybe like 30 minutes to an hour as well. I'm definitely working on time management. I do work part-time as a nurse, and then I also do work part-time as a content creator. So I do try to stick to a schedule. I try to post at least like 3 to 5 times a week, as far as like reels, as far as like stories and things of that sort. It's just mainly time management, sticking to the schedule, putting things down on my calendar, and trying to stay consistent. I do work part-time as a nurse, and then I do go to these sites for restaurant reviews or like for different events. So I wanted to make sure that I am working on my passion as well as my actual job. So not to say that working as a nurse isn't my passion. That's still my passion too. But I wanted to make time for both. So it wasn't hard for me at all because this is something I totally 100% love. I've been doing this for about 3 years. It'll be 3 years in April. I would say within the past year, I have had to cut back from my actual like day job. So that's when I started working part time because I still do need like my health insurance and everything. So I would say like within the past year is when I had to cut back down and like trying to schedule and figure out both. I feel like each content creator has like their own style of like what they put out, and I'm unique in my own way. So either I will wait for the hype to die down, and then once people forget, I will upload my video. So that's typically how it works for me. I'll either try to be the very first one, or I'll wait or and try it again, like try it a little bit later. Yeah. So I study people a lot. So I see what works for other people, both like in Detroit and like outside of Detroit. So I see what has worked for other people. I'll be like, okay, I clocked that. So now I'm going to do that for the next time. So it's mainly a lot of studying. I don't feel like I've reached a point where I've gone to every restaurant or every fun activity in the Detroit area because I can also travel as well. So like just recently I went to Houston and I did some content out there. But if I've already visited a restaurant, I'll revisit it. Usually I have like different cameras or I'll have like they'll have new menu items that I'll just like try out. So it kind of just depends. Yeah. What I do is if I don't like a particular meal, I'll be like, okay, well, this is my favorite. Because usually they bring out like a whole bunch of different things for me to try. I will put it in the background, but I won't focus on it. I'll focus on the other foods that I did like. Because I do try to be positive. I'm not here to mess up anybody's business, so that's not my job. But yeah, there has been a spot where I was like, okay, I can't produce content for this spot. It's dirty. The food doesn't look like it's edible. And I personally would not want to put you in that situation where you're losing clients, you're losing customers because of my review. I don't want to do that. And I feel like that's not my place. So I'd rather just not. And I didn't. I didn't. So I feel like when I do my videos, they're thinking that I'm getting paid to go to these places and I'm giving like a positive review because of that. So if they see like professional cameras, they're gonna be like, okay, that's a dead giveaway. So I try to make it as natural as possible by having my phone out and not having such big equipment. I compare myself a lot. So I'll look at other people that like I started off with and I'll be like, okay, well, dang, we all put out the same video and they got like 1 million views and I got like 2, So it's a lot of oh my gosh. There's a lot of comparing that I do, but that's just me. I do that in every aspect of my life anyway. So that's probably something I should fix. But social media can heighten that too. So I feel like you're you because you're you. So you can't compare yourself to other people and you put your own spin to whatever you're producing. So that's one thing I try to keep in mind. Like I started this because I had my own spin to whatever I was putting out and people resonate with that. And that's why I have the followers that I do because they mess with what I put out. So that's the type of mental I try to keep. But it does get hard, like looking on social media and comparing yourself, and thinking like, okay, well, people may not like this and they like that, and it hurts sometimes. So I just try to keep a great support system. My family and friends, they're always supporting me in anything that I do. So try to keep at that. Yeah, just start. Like that sounds really cliche, but you really just have to start. Initially, when I started my Detroit Finds page, I didn't want to show my face because if the videos flopped, I didn't want it to be like, okay, she was the one that created that page. No one likes her stuff. So after a while, I was building momentum. The first couple of videos I'll put out, I was like, okay, if I at least have 500 views, I'm good. If I have at least 10 likes, I'm good. Then eventually that turned into 10K. Then eventually that turned into 100K. So you just got to start. You have to be consistent. You got to see what other people are doing and what's working for them, and then put your own spin into it. So I want to be a millionaire. If I could be a millionaire by doing this, no, I'm playing. No, but really, I would love to do this full time. I want to work with as many brands as I can. I want to update my equipment. I don't want to work with my iPhone anymore, but I would love to do this full time. I love what I do. So yeah. So with me, I just need to be more consistent with reaching out to brands, and producing quality content and posting consistently. So I feel like once I get that down, I feel like I'll be on my way. But I do work, so sometimes I get like distracted from work, and I'm like, okay, I'll just chill today. Where I'm supposed to actually like post my videos, and sometimes like slack. So a lot of it could be on me, So I'll give, like, I understand, yeah. But this is something I had to be more consistent on. Definitely, when I was working full time as a nurse, so that's why I cut down so I can have enough time to do both my day job and my content creation work. So I was just tired. I didn't want to produce content. It was just like a drain. And you have to edit videos. You have to pick the best videos that you put out, and it was just a drag after a while. And with social media, you can't take breaks. You have to post 3 times a week or at least have something out there, a story or something. And when you're not doing that, like I just see it takes a hit on my views. I've noticed. So that's something that you have to constantly, be putting content out. And that eventually gets tiring if you're burnt out. So I try to tell a story. Usually the first 3 to 5 seconds, you have to capture the audience. So I try to look for something that I know like people are going to be attracted to, like to go to that restaurant or to go to that event. So if I go to this restaurant, they have this big piece of a big piece of like meat or like this cool drink. I try to capture the audience within that first 3 to 5 seconds, and usually it makes the video go viral. So I would say at least 100,000 views within the first 24 hours, and usually like maybe 1,000 follows for the new page or for the business page. Yeah. Well, sometimes when I'm out, I do get recognized, but usually it's more so like, oh, you look familiar. Like, where do I know you from? So it's not like spot on. Like they know me because I'm like from my page. If I'm out and I'm not working, then I know just like we're just here chilling, we're eating. But like sometimes my friends would be like, okay, aren't you gonna get some videos down or whatever? But no, it's not. Usually, if I'm chill, I'm chill. Hi, my name is Nkem from Detroit Finds 313, and you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Detroit Finds 313.